Reality check man from your device, you know, say Aromatic Realistic TV. Anyway, people, today we want to take a look at Paula Llewellyn, DPP, Director of Public Prosecuting. So let I tell you the responsibility of the DPP. She responsible for the prosecution of people charged with committing crime in the states. She responsible for the prosecution of people charged with committing crime in the states. So I'm gonna play this clip of her thinking she was like at a Kiwanis function or something. And then after we listen the clip of her, then we're gonna dissect it. Take it from there.
Runs through your life, your day. And whether the agency or my office is dealing with a police officer who is subject of a charge, a politician, a lawyer, doctor, or Indian chief, or journalist, or anybody at all, any citizen, you cannot indict that person based on perception or suspicion. And then he says, thank you. As a leader, especially when you wield great power, I have found in my 15 years as DPP, I was
So that was her. But the reason why I'm doing this video, you know, I want to point out how corrupt this lady is. I said I want to point out how corrupt this lady is. Because remember, you know, she passed retirement age, you know. And Andrew Holness keep her back on, you know. And we have young DPP, you know, who can take over, you know, and carry the mantle, you know. But for some reason, Andrew Holness keep her on. But we just want to point out how corrupt the justice system is. So when you hear them talk, now listen them. Them ungla come on platform, come talk and go on PR stunt. Because they know how corrupt and wicked and evil them people are be. And poor people, yai water, depend them. Poor people, yai water, depend them, brother. Because poor people pitney, then send a prison. And that's why you see the older the lady I get, and the uglier she get, brother. The older Paula Llewellyn get, and the uglier she get. A poor people, yai water depend her, brother. Because poor people pitney she prosecute and send a prison. But anyway, let me dive into her story. She says, as I quote, "Fairness run through me like your DNA." She said, whether the agency or my office dealing with a police officer who is subject to a charge, a politician, a lawyer, or a doctor, or an Indian chief, a journalist, or anybody at all, or any citizen, you cannot indict that person based on perception or suspicion. You cannot indict that person based on perception or suspicion. You cannot indict that person. So, I want to take the opportunity to ask Paula Llewellyn some question. You try Vybz Cartel and you claim that he murdered someone. There was nobody recover until this day. That body did not recover. So therefore you try the case without a body. What you use to try that case? You say you use forensic evidence, which you use text message and you use voice note. That's what you guys use to send cartel a prison for life. Right? Okay. Get that out of the way now. Let's look at Rural Reed, who steal millions of dollars away from the education ministry. Uses helper to withdraw those money. I'm saying that's not procession. That's not suspicion. The evidence is right there. Rural Reed steal millions from the education ministry and use him helper to withdraw them funds there. That is not suspicion. That is evidence. But the reason why Rural Reed can't go to prison, remember Andrew Holness, introduced Rural Reed to the Jamaican people. Andrew Holness carried Rural Reed to the labor rights, Andrew Holness said Rural Reed is the best thing, since Captain Bakery Bread, Remember that, So I'm just asking you, based on you indict Vybz Kartel and text message and voice note, and Rural Reed thief millions from the education ministry and use him helper to withdraw their money there. That's not suspicion, that's evidence. Anyway, let us move on to the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Right Honorable Andrew Michael Holness. His former attorney at law, Patrick Bailey. A man was murdered inside Patrick Bailey's apartment. That man received 22 stab wounds and a gunshot to his head. He was in the living hall watching TV, and Patrick Bailey was across from the living hall in his bedroom. Now just imagine a man get 22 stab and a gunshot, and the next man over there so fast asleep and he don't hear nothing. The dead man is right here. That's not suspicion. That's evidence why Patrick Bailey not in prison. It even get more ironic. Fitz Bailey, the chief prosecutor, come and rule out the main suspect. Fitz Bailey, the public #1 prosecutor in Jamaica, come and rule out the #1 suspect. Say man need bed rest. Now, Jamaica, let us look at it. Two of us inside an apartment. One of us get 22 stab and a gunshot to the head. And next one same in a room, they sleep. But the police report has stated that there was no forced entry or break into the apartment. The police report has stated that there was no force in or break into that apartment. And it's two of us inside that apartment. One of them is now deceased with 22 stab wounds and a gunshot to his head. So why Patrick Bailey not there prison? I'm just asking you these things in a Paula Llewellyn. Because as the director of public prosecuting, your responsibility, you are responsible for the prosecution of people charged with committing crime in the states. That is your responsibility. Because you try Vybz Kartel, not with the physical evidence, of the body, that you say he murdered the man, You not find no body until this day. There was nobody recovered. But based on forensic, you say you tried him with text message and voice note. So I'm saying a Rural Reed who thief millions from the education ministry and use him helper fi move them money there. That is the evidence. So why Ruel Reid na their prison? Or Patrick Bailey, one man was murdered inside his apartment. It was just two of them, Paula, Llewellyn, in the apartment. One man get 22 stab and a gunshot wound. The police report said there was no force or breaking. So we don't need to look any further. The number one suspect is here, and the number one suspect is Patrick Bailey. So I'm asking you, Miss Llewellyn, or Patrick Bailey in a jail? Or Patrick Bailey in their prison? Or Ruel Reid in their prison? Or Judge Wright? Judge Wright literally give a woman some powerful punch, you know. Whoop, 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 whoop. And when him feel said that is not enough, him get a stool and trash out on her. So I'm saying to you, Paula Llewellyn, DPP, Director of Public Prosecuting, is not that evidence? But Judge Wright use a stool and trash out on a woman. And he's not just a regular man. He's a MP. Sitting MP with the Jamaica Labour Party. So all of these people who have done this crime to the state are affiliated with the labor rights. Because Ruel Reid a labor right. Patrick Bailey a labor right. And Judge Wright a labor right. So it seems that labor right can do everything in Jamaica and get away with it. So long as you are the DPP. So where is the fairness that run through your vein? Where the fairness that run through your brain? You indict Vibes Cartel with text message and voice note. I will repeat, you indict Vibes Cartel with text message and voice note. But a body is right there in Patrick Bailey house, 22 stab and 1 gunshot. The police report have stated no forced entry or break-in. So why Patrick Bailey in their prison? Ruel Reid thief million from the education ministry, using helper to move the money there. So we are asking why Ruel Reid in their prison. That's the evidence in using helper to move millions from the education ministry. Judge Wright would have killed you man with uppercut. And when that wasn't enough, he get a stool and radam, as the Prime Minister said, radam in that woman. Is not that evidence? That's not suspicion, Paula Llewellyn. That's not suspicion. Those are evidence. So I'm just telling you and showing you the Jamaican people how corrupt the DPP is. How corrupt Paula Llewellyn is. The only people Paula Llewellyn prosecute is poor people, the rich, the vulnerable, the deplorable, the unattached, the low income. That's who Paula Llewellyn prosecute. But poor people, yeah, water, they on your Paula Llewellyn. For them pitney. Poor people, yeah, water is on you, Paula Llewellyn. And the whole you get is the uglier you get. Paula Llewellyn, the whole you get is the uglier you get. Because you are so corrupt. You are a corrupt woman. And that's the reason why Andrew Holness hold your hand. You pass retirement age, you know, and Andrew Holness still hold your hand. Because him have you doing his corrupt work. That's why he come and go no 100% raise around here. But as I said before, and I will say it again, poor people, you water depend you. Because the only people you prosecute are poor people. The vulnerable, the reject, the deplorable, the unattached, the low income. The wholer you get is the uglier you get. Like and share now. And follow me over YouTube. Aromatic Realistic TV. I will tell you once and I will tell you twice. No man is an island. And no man stand alone. United we stand. Or divided we drop. Treat your fellow man with respect, man. Treat your fellow man with respect. Your fellow man is feeling the struggle just the way you do. We are all in this together. We are all in this together. So treat your fellow man with respect. A Jack and good road. Out. Much love.